All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Pens Elite TV, Cine TV Pittsburgh, for game number 2 of the Tyler Cragg AAA Canadiens Cup. So we probably don't have a video feed right now, so we'll give you the audio feed the best as Pens are taking on the New York Saints, or the Saints Hockey Club, time to refer to as the Rochester New York Saints. Back to action here as we are at the 10-minute mark of the first period. 0-0 at the score right now. As Easton Borman's going to carry it into the offensive zone. He's going to come down the left-hand wing. I'll do my best without the video here to describe the action. Easton Borman crashes behind the goal net. He's going to throw it out in front. It goes all the way through to Noah Welch. Welch is going to snap this in on that. Just wide of the net. Stick save there by the netminder number 39. Now picked up behind the net by Brooks Gaworski. He tries a wrap move off the left pad. Gaworski picks it up and he tucked it in the back of the net. Brooks Gaworski found the rebound. No defender cleared the house, and Brooks Gaworski puts it over the left pad at netminder number 39 for a 1-0 lead here. Brooks Gaworski cashes in. 1-0 the score. Get the popcorn out because the bingo game getting ready to roll here. And thanks for tuning in on Pens Elite TV. Looking down at my phone, I'm not sure if we have a video signal or not on my end, but thanks for sticking with us here. As Ambrose Papaluano is going to carry it into the offensive zone. He's going to dump it deep and go to work. Pens with a 1-0 lead. Early Brooks Gaworski goal at around the 10-minute mark. As the Saints turn it over in their own end, unable to get it out as Waters now is going to force it along. And Brooks Gaworski is going to regroup here in the neutral zone. He goes back to Noah Welch. Welch reverses right back to Gaworski. Gaworski runs into a man, and they both hit the ice. Papaluano, he falls along. He has his feet taken out from under him. But in the offensive zone now, or attempting to go in the offensive zone, are the Saints Hockey Club. Noah Welch is going to go back and retrieve this puck. He's got pressure going with him. He reverses it over to Nico Stark. The play's going to be read by the Rochester Saints, or the Saints Hockey Club. Man's open in front. Carried through. Pad saved by the netminder, starting in net, number 33, Luka Thompson. Puck's going to be thrown up ahead by the Saints Hockey Club, and they dump it back into the Pens D zone. Going to be shot in on Luka Thompson from a distance here. Picking off this pass once again are the Saints. Ambrose Papaluano tries a headman pass to Brooks Gaworski. Fans on that attempt to move it along further. Nico Stark makes no mistake about it, and looks good. We have a video signal now, so thanks for sticking with us here. We have an ice zone call coming up. Pens are going to go back to their D zone. To the right of netminder number 33, Luka Thompson. 1-0 is the score on a Brooks Gaworski goal. He tried a wrap move, found a rebound, tucked it in with a second shot attempt. Get 1-0. Faceoff's going to be won back to the Saints Hockey Club. They have it in the slot. They dump it wide. Comes to Grant Loy behind the net. Loses the puck in his skates. Not the best ice here in the afternoon. There's a lot of smaller rink, older kids here playing on the ice surface. A lot of games here being played, and you can tell a lot of divots in the ice. Not a lot of time for the Zamboni to adjust as a nice centering pass goes all the way through. Connor Wilson has a shot by CJ Nenavisa. Hops over the stick of Bingham Green. Right pad save by the netminder 39. Back to center, Grant Loya. He goes back to retrieve this puck. Goes D to D. Goes wide to Nenavisa. Nenavisa headman pass for Mason Fritchie. He's got a man going with him. It's Connor Wilson. Fritchie stopped up here as the Pens are changing behind the play. Nenavisa is going to take his man. Long shot, in on net. Right pad save, Luka Thompson. Another shot from the perimeter by the Saints Hockey Club. Their third of the game. As it comes back to Noah Welch. Welch is going to try a headman pass up to Mason Fritchie. Fritchie's got to waste for it. Fritchie's going to bring it in. He's got Connor Wilson going with him. Goes to Connor Wilson. Wilson and his man hit the deck. Wilson from his knees is trying to move it to Colt Davis. Not held in at the point. Brady Fritchie goes back for this puck. Fritchie's going into a crowd. He's navigating through there. He's got a man going with him. It's Welch. Welch is going to carry this puck in. He's going to dump it deep. Another couple of bodies fall here. High in the zones, Colt Davis tries to move along further. Unable to do so. Brady Fritchie tries to enter the zone by himself. As Welch is going to hold this puck in temporarily. Goes off of his stick, back to center. Riker Ferguson has it on his backhand and is trying to get right back in on the attack. Brady Fritchie's held up on the wall. Brady Fritchie navigates through, takes a slash to try and make a play here. As the Pens are changing behind the play, turnover here high in the zone. It's going to be an outlet for 19. Good back check there from Brady Fritchie to regain the puck. Ambrose Papuana takes a hook. And now it deflects off the stick 74, Easton Borman. Right back into the stomach of 37, Ambrose Papuano. Got a man coming off the bench. It's Brooksy Jaworski. Hits him. Jaworski takes pressure off the backside there. Funnels it back into the offensive zone over a couple sticks. Icing is going to be waved off here. 17 back to play this puck. Pressured by Jaworski, the goal scorer today, number 45. 1-0 the score here for the Pens lead over the Saints Hockey Club. It's now finding the stick once again. Brooks Jaworski tries to stop up move. Thrown back to center red by Ambrose Papuano. Goes D to D to Grant Loya. Loya tries to hit Stark, the center of the play, but comes all the way through to Paris. Paris leaves it for Stark now. Stark back to Paris. Paris going to rip a shot here. Deflects dangerously off of the stick of Peluzio, who threw the stick up there. Almost became a deflection down on his netminder. His netminder had to be aware there to make a save. That's where things will stop up here, and we approach the midpoint of the first period. Offensive coming up to be taken by Stark. Center here, flanked by Paris and Jaworski. Backside, Loya. There's Papuano. Just one back to Papuano. Papuano delays. He moves it on the wall to Paris. Paris is going to use a screen. Shoots it in the backside of Costanza. Back to center. Ambrose Papuano moves it right back to Paris. Over centering pass to Brooks Jaworski. Uses a man as a screen. And 39 was not aware where that puck was. The netminder looking around there. But no rebound. Pens probably with 6 shots right now to the Saints Hockey Club 3. They had 3 on the perimeter. Pens able to get a couple in the box here as Connor Wilson will step in for the draw. Wilson back to Fritchie. Fritchie to Fritchie. Shot wide of the net. Connor Wilson picks it up behind the cage. He curls top of the circle right now. It's going to be picked off by Costanza. Thrown back to the stick of CJ Nenevison. Nenevison up to Wilson. Quick transition here for the Pens. And on the attack is Bingham Green. He's got Mason Fritchie going to the net. Picked off by 77, Page. Thrown back to center red. Picked up foul by right-handed defenseman Brady Fritchie. Fritchie up to Wilson. Wilson goes wide now to Mason Fritchie. Line's been on fire lately. Mason Fritchie back to Connor Wilson. Wilson gets all the way through. And Bingham Green here on the near wall. Takes it back to Brady Fritchie. Throws his man to the ice, does Brady. Leaves it for Wilson. Wilson protects. Comes up the half wall now. Wilson's trying to stick with his puck. As a collision ensues, battle in front of the Saints Hockey Club bench. Wilson wins that battle. Wilson's going to take all the daylight that's given to him. The Saints are backing off of him. Wilson threads it through to Mason Fritchie. Just knocked off of his stick the last second. Held in temporarily by Brady Fritchie. He's going to retreat back to center. He goes D to D. CJ Nenevison. Nenevison up to Connor Wilson, number 8. He's coming down. Mason Fritchie's calling for this pass. Davis is hauled off the skates. Interference call coming up in front of the net. 7 took his legs out, so the Pens are going to have the extra attacker as Davis was taken out in front of the crease. Could be a hold, could be an interference. Either would suffice. Match the call. So the Pens are going to the power play. First one of the Canadien Cup tournament. They've got no special teams action either way in their game number 1, which was a tie against number 1 in Ontario. Don Mills Flyers. It's going to be one back to Papuano. It's shot in on net. Gets all the way through. Now held in again by Papuano. He's going to try and dance around a man. High in the slot. Backhanded through. Well, Davis is going to hustle over to this puck now. Davis is going to walk off the wall. Has his pocket picked. He's going to squirt all the way up. Welch comes over. Keep it in the zone. It's now picked up by Colt Davis. Davis is going to try and dip and dance. He's got some guys open on the back end. Wilson takes a shot to the back. Easton Borman tucks it in. There was daylight between the pads of 39. Borman finds it. And it's a 2-0 game. Borman walked off the wall. Nobody picked him up. After Davis held it against the wall, Borman came up and picked up the loose puck. It's 2-0 right now Easton Borman tucks it in between the legs of netminder number 39. And it's a PPG for PPE. Here from the Chesswood Rink, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Game number 2 of the Canadiens Cup, the Tyler Craig AAA Memorial Cup, as Riker Ferguson brings it in. Being paired up here on a line with Borman and Davis. Backside's going to be Ian Anavisa and Grant Loya. Saints Hockey Club is going to pick it up now. They're going to wind it behind their net, actually in front of the net, as they try an outlet pass to 33. Grant Loya on his backhand. He goes D to D. That's his partner, Nenavisa. Nenavisa, the left-hander, moves it up to Easton Borman. Unable to find the handle, but keeping it in the zone nicely. Number 93, Riker Ferguson. He's got some jump in his step here early on. It's Easton Borman, who got the second goal of the game for the Pens. Going to see this picked off by the centerman now, Nico Stark. Puck's going to be turned over to the Saints Hockey Club. They dance around Nenavisa. Controlled nicely, though, by number 43. Grant Loya protects on his backhand as he skates back to center. He's going to dump it in. He's going to go for a change now. On the forecheck to get this puck is number 11. That's Colt Davis. Davis creates a turnover here momentarily, but picked up now by the Rochester Saints. On to help out is Blake Paris. Number 3 is going to come back. Tries to work it around Brady Fritchie. Fritchie separates his man from the puck. Finds this loose male. Trying to work it ahead out of the zone. Nico Stark tries to help out as well. Now high in the zone now. They're going to walk it back to center as the Pens are going to be led by number 9, Brady Fritchie. Protects it on the backhand. Power move here. Snap just outside of the cage as Gaworski seals his man to the wall. Welch gets a stick in there now. Gaworski harasses. Nico Stark pushes it through the neutral zone where Blake Paris is going to hustle over to try and get this puck back into the offensive zone. He's now slammed into as well. Bodies flying here. Welch is going to fan on that attempt. Swings it wide to Ambrose Papawana. Quick up to Nico Stark. As retreating back into their zone are the Saints Hockey Club. Pens with 2-0 lead here in the first period. Rochester Saint falls down. This is going to go the length of the ice. It's going to be an icing call. Pens are going to come all the way back down to, I believe, the right side of netminder number 39. Thanks for tuning in here on Pens Elite TV. Got the video feed back up and running. And that the video feed may have stopped out and game ended in a 3-5. On Mills Fire scored. Their net was empty, 12.5 to go off a set face-off play. But it's going to be off the face-off here as Grant Loya snaps in the shot. Connor Wilson collects the loose change, drops it into the vending machine, and picks up a goal. Connor Wilson on the rebound. Off the Grant Loya shot. It's a 3-0 game here in the first period. As rebounds are being left there in the crease for the Pens to find and cash in on. So the name of the game is going to be get shots in on the netminder and then crash and looking for some rebounds. Now Brooks Gaworski picked up the first goal of the game. It was a rebound of his own shot, a wrap move. Saints Hockey Club tries to get in on the attack, but the Pens feeling it right now. 3-0 to score, looking for more. Mason Fritchie, he stops up behind the zone. He's got a trailer. He's going to throw it off his backhand. Comes all the way through. But no further here as number 18 brings it back to center. Dancing around number 43. Grant Loya over to help out, though, is his D partner, 35, Ambrose Papawana. Mason Fritchie leaves it for Connor Wilson. Wilson just knocked off his stick at the last second. Man following on, that's Grant Wilson. Correction, Grant Loya. But bringing it back to center red is Page. Is going to dump it. Did not hit center red. Icing is going to be the call. 2 more strides. Page would have got it deep. That's to throw it down the ice. Icing. So we're going to go to the left of netminder number 39. On to take the draw, number 93, Riker Ferguson. Right side is Colt Davis. Left side is Easton Borman. Comes all the way through. Colt Davis takes a cross check to the chops from number 97. It's moved along to number 97. Going to try and skate through everybody. right now as he's bouncing out wide, and it's shot into the net by number 97. He's able to work around a couple of Penn's players, shoots it from the circle, goes over the glove of netminder number 33, looking back of the net. 3-1 game, late stages of the first period. So the Saints Hockey Club has some life here. It's thrown back to number 9, Brady Fritchie. Backhand, tries to wheel it up the head to Colt Davis. Following on is number 93, Riker Ferguson. Borman. Now, Borman on the wall along with Colt Davis, thrown deep now by Riker Ferguson. Borman's hustling over to get this puck. 97 throws it up off the wall. Goes behind everybody. Number 9, Brady Fritchie leaves it for his D partner. Number 77, CJ Nanavisa. Reverse back to Brady Fritchie nicely. Up ahead of the plays, Easton Borman. It goes off the body of the Rochester defender. That's going to be it. Period number 1. Score. Pittsburgh Penguins lead 3. The Saints Hockey Club 1. Be back with period number 2 in a moment. All right, period 2 action set to resume here. 3-1 the score. Late first period goal off the stick of 97 over the glove from the Saints Hockey Club. Has jumped out to a 3-0 lead on goals from Brooks Kowarski, Easton Borman. Then Connor Wilson corralled a Grant Loya shot before the Saints got their first goal of the game. 3-1 the score here. Second period action underway. Nico Stark pushes it forward to Brooks Kowarski. He's going to try to bring it through himself. Kowarski still has it on his stick. Now comes below the goal line. Kowarski stops up. Looking for Blake Paris now. Flying Blake Paris. Paris stops up on the goal line. Tries to go centering pass. Comes pass back to center. Welch is going to walk this or knock this further along. Comes out just in front of the net. Dangerous carom there as 72 Pelucio is going to throw it deeper to Waters. Welch on the wall. Now goes back to Ambrose Papawana, thrown up to Blake Paris. Out of the zone come the Pens now, back on the attack. Paris chips it. Centering pass, again, comes all the way through to the top of the zone. Brooks Kowarski picks it up on the half wall. He's pressured by 3 Rochester Hockey Club members. Again, not sure if it's the Rochester Saints, New York Saints, or just the Saints. But a lot of these players played in for the Rochester Junior Americans last year. As CJ Nanavisa tries a headman pass. It's picked up and read by 97. He now bounces to the outside of Grant Loya. Dangerous shooter here is 97. Misses the net though. Page dumps it in deeper. Connor Wilson tries to move along to Grant Loya. Saints have a little bit of a pushback here. As Grant Loya tries to defend his man, it comes all the way through. Nanavisa ties up Page. Mason Fritchie, headman pass up to Connor Wilson. Wilson's in flight. Bounces to the center of the ice, dips and dances, loses one thing, and that's the puck. Penn's trying to change up a couple players behind the play. One of them is Brady Fritchie. He comes over, separates his man from the puck. Brady Fritchie, strong play. He's been great all day, great all season. Number 9, Brady Fritchie. Moves it up to Mason Fritchie, brother. He now protects. Comes all the way through to the other side where comes up the half wall to Connor Wilson. Wilson has it at the point. Loses puck temporarily here as Welch collects. Welch is looking for a centering pass. It goes off of a couple of guys and pushed forward along into the offensive zone in the skates of Mason Fritchie. Bingham Green moves it to Mason Fritchie now. Back to Bingham Green. Green snaps in a shot. Bingham Green goes over the shoulder of the netminder. The right shoulder and in the back of the net. Bingham Green makes it a 4-1 game here early in the second period. Penn's able to hold it in the zone. Ritchie to Green and in the back of the net. Ferguson back on. He's flanked by his line mates Davis and Easton Borman. As Brady Fritchie separates his man from the puck. He's now thrown to the wall, but he's able to stay on his feet, moves it to Borman. Snap now behind the net. Welch is going to go back for this puck. He's bumped into by trying to pin 33 to the wall. 33 walks off. Comes back to the point man 7, snapped in on net. Found by Thompson. No rebound. Going to be thrown to the stick of Ambrose Papaluano off the faceoff. Pushed along further by Easton Borman. Just out of the zone, but late offsides here. Bulls, since we're playing not under USA hockey rules here in the Canadiens Cup, you have delayed offsides, and you can also ice the puck on penalty kicks. 2-minute penalties also is the rule change here. Hens were able to cash in on their first power play of the game earlier in the first period. As the Saints Hockey Club collect behind their own net. Quiet atmosphere right now in the Chestwood Arena. Rink number 4, same place as game number 1. Ambrose Papaluano winds it through delays, protects it on his backhand now. Offsides is the call. Neutral zone face-off coming up. Nico Stark entered this afternoon. He's going to be flanked by Blake Paris and Brooks Skaworski backside. Brady Fritchie, number 9. Defensive tandem is the left-hander. Number 77, CJ Nenavisa. The Saints win this draw. They go D to D. Centering pass is shut down immediately by Brady Fritchie, but thrown into the corner here where 77 CJ Nenavisa has to get up to this puck. Moves it over to Brady Fritchie. Fritchie up off the wall to Brooks Skaworski. Jaworski tries the center, runs into the official though. And bumped right into the side of the official. Going to be blown dead here to allow Brooks to get to the bench. Going to be a neutral zone face-off. Nico Starks on with Will Davis now on his right wing. Take the spot of Brooks Skaworski. Flip through Brady Fritchie. But good back check there from Nico Stark. Davis is going to center this to Stark. And brought along further by number 25, Blake Paris, the left winger. Joining the rush here is Brady Fritchie, number 9. He takes it low, below the goal line. Guys behind the net. Got a lot of real estate to work with. Go around the world here. Top of the zone. Swings all the way through. Doesn't connect on the pass. And it goes over the stick of Brady Fritchie now. Coming over from his D left side is CJ Nenavisa. Finding now to get some. He goes behind the net. Comes all the way past the stick of Brady Fritchie. Right back to 77 CJ Nenavisa. Second period action. Game number 2 from the Canadiens Cup. Toronto, Ontario, Canada. 4-1 the score.
Yeah, go to that.
77 Page. Going to backhand this into the high slot. Shut down by Brady Fritchie. Fritchie's going to lose an edge here, but it's going to be offsides is the call. 21 in ahead of the play. Neutral zone faceoff coming up. Midpoint of the second period. Luka Thompson, the man between the pipes. Game number 2 for your 2015 Pittsburgh Penguins Elite. Connor Wilson on to take the draw, flanked by Green, Ritchie, backside, Papaduano, and Welch. Devin's going to dump it deep behind the Penguins' net. Welch is going to hustle over to try and get to this puck. He wins this battle, finds it. Centering pass goes all the way through to Green. Green right back to Wilson. Wilson dances outside number 7. Centering pass comes right to the stick of Mason Fritchie, still loose. Still loose, pops up over a pad. Players are digging for it, whistle. Puck was pinballing around in the crease. Covered up by the State's netminder. Flurry of activity off of the D-zone draw. Penn's able to turn right through the neutral zone. As Wilson took it wide, centered it for 4. Green crashed in looking for a rebound. Offensive zone faceoff. Connor Wilson's on for the draw. He's going to win it back clean to Ambrose Papaduano. He walks off the wall. He tries a spin move. Brings it down to the faceoff dot and loses it for Wilson. Wilson tries to go back to him, but that's going to be read and picked off. Back to center come the Rochester Correction Hockey Club. Going to try and split around wide. Splitting in. Welch is going to get a stick on it to knock it wide. Now 21 picks up his own play here. Centering pass comes to 77. In the equipment of 33, Thompson. No rebound. As Thompson's able to shut things down here. D-zone to the left of netminder number 33, Luka Thompson, will be taken by Riker Ferguson. Steps in again. Ferguson's on with Borman and Davis again. Backside, Nenevisa and Loy. It's in a bunch of skates. Saints Hockey Club talks out of the fray with this puck, 33. Going to be charged into by Riker Ferguson. Moved along strongly by Riker Ferguson. He wants this puck right now. Pushes it ahead to Loy. Loy leaves it for Fergie. Grant picks it up. Goes off the backside of Borman back into the Penn zone. Riker Ferguson moves it further. He springs it down the left-hand wall now. Riker Ferguson snaps it in on net. Covered up by the left gloved hand of the netminder for the Saints Hockey Club. Offensive zone faceoff will be to the right of the netminder. Left of your screen here as you're watching at home. Riker Ferguson steps in for the draw. Borman in a shooting position. He's going to come down to try to get to this puck. It's chipped around him. 3-on-2 might develop here for the Saints Hockey Club. Back checking right now is Easton Borman. As he's going to force his man to the wall over to help out was Nenevisa. Borman gets this puck, moves it up further before it's snapped down to Riker Ferguson. Ferguson over to Loya. Loya up to the back of the skates of Colt Davis. Finds his puck. He bounces it out wide now. Saints Hockey Club picks up the puck. Throws it through center out of the reach of Nico Stark. DJ Nenevisa to Loya. Loya right back up to the wheelhouse of Colt Davis. Davis moves it over to Stark. He's bumped into ahead of the play. Number 74, Easton Borman. Offsides is the call. Neutral zone face-off coming up. Stepping in for the draw is number 7, Nico Stark. He's going to be flanked by Paris and Gaworski. Gaworski enters in. He's coming in the high slot area. Tries to get a shot off. He's clamped down on, though. Tipped around the body of number 25, Blake Paris, and back to Brady Fritchie. In some traffic right now. Tries to throw it off the wall. That's intercepted, though. Fritchie gets a good stick on it. It's thrown back to center as Welch is going to recover the puck temporarily. Tries to move it along. As Brady Fritchie has his man up below the goal line now. Fritchie and Krieger battle for it. On to help out is Nico Stark. Welch is now coming over to try and get this puck. He's going to try and move it along further. Picked off and read by Page. Pass to 21 Krieger. Brady Fritchie now protects. Will lead the rush now himself. Number 9, he's coming in 1-on-3. Tries to get around the D. Brings it in on net. Found by the netminder and covers it up. 6:48 to go in the second period. 4-1 the score. Penn's the lead over the Saints Hockey Club. offensive zone faceoff. Will be one back to Grant Loya. Loya goes D to D to Papuano. Papuano snaps it in, deflects in on net. Just wide as Connor Wilson is looking to tuck it home. Wilson shoots it, but it goes off the right skate of the official. Found again by Wilson, comes all the way through to Ambrose Papuano. Shot taken, blocked down in front, loose in the crease. Puck's pinballing around. Fritchie hits Wilson backdoor, goes off the left pad, was going to go wide. Collected by Bingham Green, shoots it into the glove of the netminder number 39. Couple shots there on that sequence for the Pens Elite. Score remains the same. 4-1 is the score. Thanks for sticking with us on Pens Elite TV. Like the frame might be glitching a little bit. Hopefully the audio is coming through. Connor Wilson. Face off now. One. Mason Fritchie takes a couple cross checks to the back. Do it all over again. Puck will now be controlled by Mason Fritchie. He has it behind the cage. Trying to move it to Bingham Green. Bingham Green picks it out. Now loses Fritchie. Fritchie going to be hauled down there. Stick underneath the armpit of Fritchie. But it's picked up by Bingham Green. Back to Mason Fritchie. Fritchie goes through the box to Papuano at the point. It's going to be blocked by the shin pad of the Saints Hockey Club. As they dance around Papuano right now, at least attempt to. Papuano stays with his man. He's going to force his man to the wall. Good recovery there by Ambrose, number 37. Now Connor Wilson's going to lead the attack right back down the ice. Pens are going to change their D behind the play. One of them, Connor Wilson, is going to break through. Knocked off the stick at the last second. Back to center come the Saints Hockey Club. 5:20 to go in the second period frame. Bingham Green. He leads the rush. He dumps it deep as the Pens are going to go for a change. On the forecheck is number 74. That's Easton Borman. Brady Fritchie comes down from his defensive spot. He protects. Goes back to the point man, CJ Navisa. Navisa leaves it for Brady Fritchie. Fritchie walks middle. Snapped in on net. Just over the bar, though. Good shot from the point man, Brady Fritchie, into this rush. Comes back down to the stick of Brady Fritchie. Has the top of the circle. Looking for a pathway to pass it to. Tries to move it to Fergie. Knocked off of his stick now. Good recovery there by number 9, Brady Fritchie. Strong defensively once again from number 9. Moves it up to Easton Borman. Borman delays. Snapped in on net. Blocker saved by the netminder. Comes right back to the 674 Easton Borman. Good chemistry right now with Riker Ferguson. Borman tries to move it along further. Wins this puck battle. Goes to Brady Fritchie. Makes his defender miss. Snapped in on net. Goes wide of the cage, though. Held in nicely by CJ Navisa. It's going to be thrown right back in on the netminder and covered up. No rebound as Davis for an opportunity to cash in. So there's a rumor that we're going to have a special Keller commentary for the third period here, as Blake Paris almost snapped it home over the right pad of the netminder. Now controlled behind the net by the Saints Hockey Club. Hustling over this puck is Nico Stark. The Saints playing catch behind their own cage. Paris tries to read this play. Creates a turnover here as it pops out in front of the cage. Paris going to have a tripping call. He got his stick up into the equipment of the Rochester player. Headman pass comes to the stick of Noah Welch. Pens are going to go their first PK of the day. No special teams action in game number 1. We're going to have one of each right now. The Pens cashed in on the power play earlier today. 3:30 exactly on the clock. Pens are going to the PK. Ashwood killing off the penalty. Number 33, Luka Thompson. Stark, Loya, Gaworski, Navisa. It's going to be one back to the point man. That's 7. 7 delays. Gaworski pressures him. Run back to Page at the point. Bobbles for a second. Goes right back to Krieger. 4-1 the score. Saints have a chance to get back onto this. Comes all the way through to 97. Glove down by Thompson. No rebound. We have 2-minute penalties here. 1:44 to go on the, I believe it was a hooking call or a tripping call to number 25, Blake Paris. Dark steps in for the draw. Takes it against 18. 18 wins this. Goes off the stick of 21. Snapped in off the stick of Loya. Behind the cage now. Krieger tries to send it up to his point man. Chipped out of the zone by Brooks Jaworski. The 7 tries to hustle back. Unable to get to this puck are the Pens, as right back into the offensive zone come the Saints Hockey Club. They're going to bounce it out wide. This number 18. Goes behind the cage now. Go around the world. Tries to move to Smith. Jaworski reads the play. Picks it off. Pens have the long change. They're trying to get all 4 penalty killers off, and Jaworski's able to get to the bench here. So the Pens have 4 fresh guys on the PK. Saints Hockey Club going to stick with the same unit right now, as 97 tries to dance around everybody. As Fritchie is going to try to knock it off of his man as Connor Wilson comes over to contest. He strips the puck right off of 77 Page and dumped deep. As the Pens have 48 now to go on the PK. Saints Hockey Club sticking with the same unit right now, as they're going to try to bring this back to center. 21's going to bounce this out wide. Shoots it up over everybody. Welch is going to dump this down the ice, but back to center. Welch now possesses the puck. He's going to send it up through. Playing for the ice. Take some heat out of the kitchen here. Pens have 8 now to go on the PK. That's going to be it. Here's the Pens control in the offensive zone right now. Back to 5-on-5 action. Should be coming out of the box right now. Blake's still in the box right now. I think he's having some trouble, as nobody's there to open the door. As the penalty box door is stuck. The officials grant the Pens a chance to hop a man over the bench here with the malfunctioning door here at Chestwood Arena. So 5-on-5 action. Pens successfully kill it off. They just got a man stuck in the penalty box right now. Brady Fritchie, now he's pulled down. As Brady Fritchie, he's coming in 1-on-2 right now. It goes wide to Bingham Green. Bingham Green picks it up. He stops at the dot. Tries to work it back to the point man. That's 43 Grant Loy. Snapped in on net. Goes off the shin guard of the defender. Picked up now Bingham Green. He goes low to high to Ambrose Papuano. Goes off the wall. Comes all the way through to Easton Borman. Borman tucks it over to Green. Green's got a man up top. Leaves it for him. Ambrose Papuano tries to work it along further. That play's going to be read by the Saints Hockey Club. Back to center. Up through a couple of bodies. Right to the stick of Grant Loya, number 43. He's pressured by Waters. 4-1 to score here. 11 to go in the second period. Borman comes in for one more rush. Snaps it in on net. Comes now to Bingham Green. Got in on the cage, and that's going to be it for period number 2. Pens will kill off their penalty. We'll see if we can get Blake Paris out of the penalty box. He's out. We'll be back with third period action in a moment. All right, 15 minutes on the clock. Third period action set to start. 4-1 the score. Penn Saints Hockey Club right now. Nico Stark will step in for the draw. He's flanked by Gaworski and Paris. Conversation here at the bench. And on the backside will be 77 CJ Nunavisa, number 9 Brady Fritchie. Between the pipes, number 33 Luca Thompson. As Blake Paris, he protects on his backhand, knocked off by number 33, but Paris moves it along below the netminder, number 39. A half wall thrown to the point and out of the zone. 77 Nunavisa over to Brady Fritchie. Able to corral this puck was number 9, but he recovers and goes right back to CJ Nunavisa. Nunavisa up to Blake Paris. Off of the stick at 25, he recovers now. He's at the top of the circle. Trying to move it to Gaworski. Behind him, though, Brady Fritchie. Moves it along now to Brooks Gaworski. Has it behind the cage. Where Brooks Gaworski scored from earlier today. Get the first goal of the game. 77 Nunavisa to the stick of Nico Stark. Free now from his knees. Tries a headman pass up to 33. Knocked down by number 9, Brady Fritchie. Picked up now by 25. Blake Paris. Blake Paris to Nico Stark. Stark pickle stabs it forward to Brooks Gaworski. Taken off of his blade by number 17. Moves along to CJ Nunavisa. Thrown right back into the offensive zone. Right back into the neutral zone from the Saints Hockey Club. Brady dances around number 4. He's going to dump it deep and go for a change. Or CJ Nunavisa is now going to pick it up. Right, headman pass that's going to be red, though. Brought back into the high slot area by the Saints. It's still loose there. Able to get a shot off. Nunavisa moves it ahead to Bingham Green. Bingham Green to Mason Fritchie. Fritchie goes right back to Connor Wilson now. Wilson tries to hit the point man. That's Ambrose Papuano. Doesn't get through. Stopped up on the half wide by Bingham Green. He's bumped into. Connor Wilson's going to walk off the wall. He's going to try to move it all the way through. He's going to go to the point man that's Welch. Welch is going to walk at middle. He snaps in a shot. Goes over the bar. Deflected off the equipment of a couple players. Bingham Green now controls behind the net. Knocked off of his stick blade. Penalty here coming up as Ambrose Papuano is going to touch up this puck. As the bench is calling for Luca Thompson. Going to have head contact. It's going to be the call. Looking down at the replay. Glancing down at the replay, looks like a stick came up to the head area. Pens are going to get their second power play of the game. It's actually an elbow that came up. 7 got an elbow up on Bingham Green. So Pens, nonetheless, go on the power play. At the start of the third period, Bingham Green's tying his man up off the wall. Welch is going to protect this puck. Moves it along further. Be iced all the way down. Ambrose Papuano now picks it up. 4-1 the score. Pens look more on the power play. Papuano tries to set things up behind the net. As Bingham Green moves it along to Wilson. Had to stop up for this puck. As Ambrose Papuano tries spin move. Protects it on his backhand now. He's going to bring it in the zone. Ambrose Papuano off the post. His first as a member of the Pens Elite, number 37, Ambrose Papuano gets the PPG for PPE. Papuano tried the spin move coming out of the zone. Gets his first in black and gold. Trade the Alberta red and white for the Pittsburgh black and gold. For number 37, Ambrose Papuano cashes in on the power play to make it a 5-1 game with 12:02 to go.